let's take a look at, of course, particular countries that will be paying close attention. Among those is South Africa. The country's newly elected ANC leader, Cyril Ramaphosa, will be hoping that this event draws more investment interest in the country.
It's been a tough few years for South Africa under the leadership of President Jacob Zuma. But his deputy and newly elected ANC president is determined to turn things around, and he's preparing to take this message to the world stage.
This renewal and the unity purpose that has now been announced through the governing party's conference gives us a great opportunity to face the world unashamedly, to face the world with a positive message, and to tell the world that much as we're downgraded, we've got green shoots beginning to emerge.
Ramaphosa hit the ground running since his election win last month and seems prepared for the mammoth tasks ahead, growing the economy and repairing South Africa's image.
The one overriding concern that people had leading up to this conference was political uncertainty. And I'd like to believe that we now have certainty, and we are deadly serious about addressing corruption, and we're now beginning to see the steps that are being taken in doing precisely this.
Every year, world leaders, finance ministers and the heavyweights of global business arrive at Davos to discuss the way forward with the aim of solving the world's problems. Ramaphosa is hoping to use the event to woo back investors to solve some of South Africa's most pressing challenges.
Our most important task right now is to address the challenge of jobs, inequality, and poverty. And we will be able to address all that by getting our economy to recover. And we want to make South Africa an attractive domain or an attractive country for investments. There are a variety of measures that we need to take at the governance level, make sure that we've got good people in the boards that run these state-owned enterprises, really top-class executives, and good governance procedures and processes to avoid these terrible mishaps that have been happening in our state-owned enterprises.
Investor confidence seems to be seeping back in. Ramaphosa is saying all the right things. While many are pleased, they're also waiting to see if he can deliver on all of these promises. Sumitra and Nydoo, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Well, let's bring you some further analysis on the ongoing World Economic Forum. I'm joined here in studio by Edward Kusewa, an economist and lecturer at St. Paul's University here in Kenya. Edward, thank you for joining us. Now, indeed, as we know that at the heart of it all, the goal or the objective of the World Economic Forum is to somehow try and improve the state of the world. But when we look at questions of inclusivity, particularly of African countries or the global south, do you think the World Economic Forum is the appropriate tool for inclusivity and shared growth?
I think it is. I mean, it has been able to bring about state and non-state actors over time. It has also been able to bring business leaders. It has also been able to bring academia and civil society to shape up the global agenda. So it is indeed an environment or an ecosystem or a platform for inclusivity and for discussing things that affect Africa as a whole.
As we saw, though, in those opening addresses from the likes of Klaus Schwab, the chair of the World Economic Forum, and Alain Berset, the president of Switzerland, it seems that they're very blatant about some of the challenges we're facing now, that inclusivity remains a problem, that this fractured world that we're living in remains a problem. How important then are events like this in terms of addressing some of these major geopolitical differences and disagreements that we're currently seeing?
I mean, these geopolitical issues are there to stay. And they have obviously, if you take, for example, Africa as a case study, then you find that there are certain social economic challenges. And globally also, there are issues like that have come up, like, for example, the US saying that it's going to bring its capital to Jerusalem. These are issues, challenges that are facing the globe and generally are going to affect industry and come and affect African business as a whole.
Well, of course, we know, as you mentioned it, you just touched on there, global security conflict is often a topic at the World Economic Forum. But has much progress been made in this area as far as this forum's ability to make a difference is concerned?
I mean, there are challenges and gains over the last 1 year. I mean, we have new challenges like North Korea, for instance, and North Korea already a nuclear, state. So that coupled with some of these things at the Middle East, the security concerns, the ISIL and Syria, and all these concerns are things that need to be discussed and put to a stop if possible.
All right, Nydoo, thank you so much for that analysis.